Morning! Welcome to another episode of CC Top Solutions. If you've been following along, you've seen some footage. I've been driving the Ram Charger, only yard driving so far, but it is awesome. I'm sure many of you have seen this and are just thinking like, wow, this guy must be popular with the ladies. Well, I don't live in Florida, so this kind of truck really doesn't go over too good with the girls. But what does is my 93 Corvette. So we're gonna shift gears and work on that. I'll show you guys what the symptoms are, but long story short, suspension clunking and transmission whine. We're going to address them in this episode. Enjoy. Okay, I'm going to show you guys what I'm talking about with the audio on this. Right now everything sounds normal, right? That is, we're in neutral. I have the clutch depressed, so clutch is disengaged. Listen when I engage it. Disengaged, engaged. Disengaged, engaged. Disengaged, engaged. So that's the transmission whine that I'm looking to resolve. Why don't you guys come for a ride? I'll show you the suspension clunking. Everybody buckle up, let's go for a spin. You guys will start to hear this. As soon as we pull out, you'll hear clunking. I'll let you know. You hear a little bit of clunk there? Now you hear that clunking. You'll hear some right here too. I think that's my rear sway bar bushings. So today when we get this in the air, we're going to inspect them, and I already bought replacements, so regardless of what our inspection reveals, we're putting new ones in. All of this clunking started when we took this car on vacation up to the Pocono Mountains in the spring. If you've never been there, I'd recommend it. Very beautiful, very scenic, but the cabin that we rented was 1 mile down a dirt road, and I figured no problem. Turns out, C4 Corvettes, not good rally cars. I really wish my draggy could sync with my GoPro Hero 9 that I'm using right now. I would love to see the telemetry through the high-res image of the GoPro, but no dice, at least not yet. Draggy, that's my recommendation for improvement. I wonder what we could be here to buy. Anyone who guessed we were going for tiger's blood guessed right. It's actually a 6th food group. After an extensive investigation, we have found the source of our clunking. Oh, look at that. Our bushing is completely gone. So, no big deal, we'll put a new one in. Luckily, only the driver's side one is gone, so we only need to install that side. I'm just kidding. We're going to install both of them. But yep, if anybody else has a C4 Corvette and it clunks when you're going over bumps, that could be your problem right there. Here's how we're trying to force this. Boiling the bushings, I don't know if it helped. I sure as hell can't tell. I wasted a good 10 minutes trying to put those bushings into that rear sway bar from the side. There was no way. I realized I was going to have to drop my spare tire. Now in the C4 Corvette, spare tire is kept back here underneath the gas tank. Okay, so we have 4 bolts off, right? They were holding these safety cables. Now I'm going to get the top 4 that are actually holding it on. Oh. Yep. I know, lefty loosey, righty tighty. That should be it. Should come right out. All right, letting it down nice and slow, just in case there was anything that it was potentially hung up on. Which I don't think there is. I should be able to just, hopefully, drag this right out. I'm gonna try and drag it from the passenger side. Here at CC Top Solutions, we use nothing but precision instrumentation. All right, let's see what we got here. .26 millimeters. This setup right here is something I read about on the C4 Corvette forum. One of the users wrote in and said he used a bolt. So what we have going on here, we have a 3/8 inch bolt, about 3.5 inches long. We have our inch and a 16th of an inch socket. So as the bushing pulls through, it will seat inside here. It won't get bound up. And we have this 27 millimeter socket that we can hold over here. And the problem is these polyurethane bushings, you can already see it. It's kind of cocking. And as you pull it, it gets all discombobulated. So hopefully if we hold this here and we hit this with our impact, this should work. Fingers crossed. Oh, you know what? Our washer is digging in. That's not working. No, that didn't work. We put ample silicone paste right here, and we've beefed up our washer setup. Unfortunately, that might be so beefy that it won't fit in here. So we might just have to try and do this kind of by hand. Which, what could possibly go wrong, right? All right, let me put this all back together and 2 takes, piece of cake. It almost seems like, see how immediately it starts to push out? It almost seems like you have to try and feed it in a little bit at a time. So there's tension under it right now. Now maybe if I kind of push on it, I can get it to start. And the way I'm going to push on it is with lockjaw pliers. Push may not be the correct term. We're going to compress it. That worked great. As I drew it in, I just used the lockjaw plier to try and compress it and get it started. And then just whoop, right in. 1 take, piece of cake. Now here's something else I like to do. These are the bolts that we took out that were holding our sway bar end links in. They're pretty crusty, the threads are pretty beat up, and well, I can't stand putting them back together like that. So we're just gonna take our trusty wire brush here, fire it up, and clean up all the threads, and then we're going to put anti-seize on them and put it all back together. To press our end link back in with our new bushings was actually kind of hard. What I ended up doing is just taking a hammer and tapping here to spread this out just a little bit so I could slide the bushing down in. I'm going to do the same up here so I could slide the sway bar. Ow. Whoops. So I could slide the sway bar down in. And then it's not a problem because when you go ahead and tighten everything up, it'll pull it all back together. So pro tip, don't fight this. Go with the flow. Now we have 2 pro tips for you. While I'm doing this, I am leaving the bushings loose back here. I'm hoping you can see that the sway bar bushing is actually loose. No point in tightening that up just yet. And the second pro tip, if you're using a GoPro Hero 9 to film anything along these lines where you're on a concrete floor, whatever you do, don't set that sucker down on the concrete because the rear screen is the most fragile glass in the world. Here's another pro tip. The gentlest way to easily spread this gap, get on here with a wrench. It's a 5/8 inch wrench, and you just do it by hand. Real easy. Now that our sway bar bushings are replaced, we're moving on to our dessert. we are doing a transmission fluid change. This has the ZF 6-speed transmission, not a Tremec. Tremec's didn't start until the next generation of Corvettes, so ZF 6-speed. It's an awesome transmission made in Germany, and I've read online that you've got to use this German motor oil. So I bought some 10W60, made in Germany, and this is not exactly what I read to use, but this is pretty close, and I'm assuming it's going to work well. You're going to find out. Same time I'm going to find out. I think I want a little more clearance underneath the car while I'm going to do this. That should be plenty of clearance. Here's our ZF 6-speed transmission. Notice it has the black side label on it. That means this is a black tag transmission, which means I think it's rated for 400 or 450 foot-pounds of torque. There's a blue tag one that's in the newer C4 Corvettes. That one is less torque, but quieter. So, you know, there's your trade-off. Anyhow, I read that the first thing that you always want to do when you're going to try and change the fluid in this transmission is remove this. It's your fill plug. You want to pull that first because it gets jammed a lot of the time. And there's been quite a few folks that have pulled this one first, drained all the oil, and then realized they couldn't put fresh oil in. So don't let that happen to you. We sprayed down our fill plug with some penetrating oil, and what's required is a 17mm hex in order to loosen these up. We're going to use the same technique that we use on brake lines and any other potentially seized fittings so that we don't damage anything or strip anything. We're going to go ahead and get our 17mm in there. We're going to put a ratchet on here, and we're just going to tap away at it with a hammer to impact it out. We don't want to force it and strip it. There we go. Broke free, nice and simple. Well, I don't know about you guys. I'm really working up an appetite. I could use some tiger's blood. Before you pull even the fill plug, you should probably put an oil catch pan underneath it. Well, we're draining our oil right now. This is coming out nice and clean. So there was a little bit of RTV around the bottom plug. I suppose that can't hurt, but I was not planning on putting RTV back. What I'll use is a little bit of Teflon tape on the plugs. They're just pipe plugs. We're now filling our transmission with that oil. The way we had to do this is we transferred the oil out of the container it came in into a container that I have from when I put my top loader transmission in my 66 Mustang, because I have a pump. So I can go ahead and pump the oil out of that container right into the transmission. I'm absolutely amazed how messy this is. I have dripped oil everywhere. Well, here we go. We'll just keep on filling this until some comes out from the top. I think I read online that it should take about 2 quarts. Poof! Like that, we're done. Transmission is filled with fluid up to about here. It started drooling out, so I went ahead and put our fill plug back in. Everything is nice and tight. I think it's at the point where we need to put everything back together, drop this down, and go for a test drive. The moment of truth. All right, the first thing we're gonna check. Let's see if this transmission is any quieter. I love how that sounds a little bit messed up. Okay, so right now we have the clutch disengaged. We're in neutral. All right, so there's disengaged, engaged. Disengaged, engaged. Nah, really no quieter. Okay, so, well, at least there's fresh oil in there. Any difference in shifting? Oh, actually it does shift a heck of a lot easier now. Huh. Maybe it did need to be changed, or maybe the wrong stuff was in there. All right, let's see about these bushings. All right, let's see, how are we doing here? Wow, actually, I'm really surprised. There's a Huge difference in how easily this goes in and out of gears. Who wants to go for a test drive? Oh, it already feels like it handles way better. No, I'm just kidding. Well, the good news is the rear sway bar clunk is long gone. No suspension clunking. I don't feel much of a difference as far as handling goes, but then again though, I'm going 45 miles an hour on a straight road. I don't know that that's a real good test of handling. I guess I could, you know, whoa. Okay, when I move the steering wheel around, I definitely feel a difference. Wow. C4 Corvettes. True performance machine. Oh, that's so much better. Going over bumps, not hearing all that clunking. Oh, that's great. So a couple months ago, the same tornado that hit our place came through here, and look at the damage it did. Unbelievable, right? Call it complete deforestation, or total deforestation. That used to be heavily wooded, kind of like everything else you see around here. Pretty wild. You can definitely still hear some noise in the trans. I think that's just the nature of the beast. Is the I had a lot of fun making this episode. I hope you all had a lot of fun watching it. Don't worry, I'm working on some new episodes. The Ram Charger will be back very soon. And I should be taking that to the exhaust shop today, maybe even tomorrow. And then we're gonna work on our 66 Mustang timing chain cover gasket. I'm leaking coolant between that and the block. So there are 2 videos on the way. Have a good one.